All right, welcome to another episode of Closing with Sam. My name is Samuel. I am a closer at Tractor Supply, and today I'm going to be walking you through a couple of my duties as a closer. Today we were kind of short staffed since one of our team members had called out because they were sick, and so we needed some extra help on the floor doing gura, and so that was what I was doing most of the day today. So a lot of it I wasn't able to film since I wasn't able to film customers and so forth for their protection. As you can see here, though, I was able to get around to putting out a U-boat. These are called U-boats, and they're full of feed. We get pallets in that are mixed with a whole bunch of different feed that goes out on the floor. So anything that is in a bulk stack comes to us in a mixed pallet. Then we have to organize it and put it on U-boats depending on what area they go in. So this had a little bit of cattle and poultry on top. Then it also had some cat on top, and then the rest on the bottom was all dog food. But what you can see I'm doing is I am just wheeling it around in the cattle section, and I'm dropping the bags on the ground, and then I'm able to put them up onto the shelf. I do this in order to flatten out all the grain, and so that it sits easier and nicer and more flat on the shelf, so it's more presentable. This is a lot of grain and a lot of food, and it might look like a lot, but this is typically what morning shift does. We had 4 U-boats today, and I was only able to put out one due to being as busy as we were and as short a staff as we were. Usually they're able to get these done relatively quickly, but they had made these U-boats this morning and they hadn't had time to get around to putting them out, and so this is what I was left over to do in the night shift while they had to leave due to their time being up. This is a good amount of grain, but like what I was saying before, it just puts in perspective how much grain and food that is able to be grabbed by our customers, because as soon as you put out this entire U-boat, it isn't typically noticeable. If you look at the shelves, they don't look a whole lot fuller, but that just puts in perspective about how much feed is available to grab at any moment. We have a lot of feed out in those shelves. Morning shift is usually a lot faster than I am. This is actually my least favorite job. I like doing cleaning, and I'm okay with running register. I prefer doing register than doing this. And I like to put out bulk stacks. Usually that's what I'm doing. But unfortunately, you don't always get to pick and choose what you want to do, and kind of you have to do things that need to be done. And so this is one of those, just putting out U-boats. Then after that, I was able to do something I wanted to do, and this is put out a bulk stack. This is whole corn, and we had run out of whole corn up front, and so I had unwrapped this yesterday in yesterday's episode, but we didn't actually need it out on the floor. It was a miscommunication between my manager, who had put it out to go out, but it didn't need to go out since they didn't have room to put it on our racking, because we didn't have room for the truck that came in because of how much stuff we have. But as you can see, I'm using the pallet jack and I'm walking backwards with it. It's a pretty good workout in order to get those bulk stacks out into the floor. It uses a lot of your muscles and your legs. Now what I'm doing is I'm organizing the break room and getting everything ready to be mopped and cleaned. I turn my fan on, then I'm going to go ahead and take trash out here and put a new bag in. I'm just getting ready for this evening when I have to come back through here and get everything cleaned. I make sure to turn my fan on because if you don't have the fan on, usually the floors stay pretty wet. And so for the people who come in the next day and don't, when the fan is when someone forgot to put the fan on, then it's usually pretty wet back there in the break room and in the bathroom. So always make sure to put the fan on in order to get everything dried out. Here I'm just making my mop bucket, and I do a 50-50 part of regular water regular water that's hot and disinfectant floor cleaner. And I'm just wheeling that over here for later, so that's ready. As you can see, I don't have any clean towels for the dog wash, and which is usually an issue because we probably won't be able to open the dog wash tomorrow until our cleaning service comes and delivers fresh towels. But as you can see here, I'm store using some bleach for this evening so I could use it in the bathrooms. I ran out of bleach the other day, and so I'm just making sure everything is store used out properly in our system so that nobody mistakes it for theft. For those who don't know, we have a service called the Dog Wash where you can come in and you can wash your dog for $10. $10 a dog, and you usually have around an hour. We don't time you, but you typically have around an hour to use the station and the service so that you can come in and wash your dog with all of our soaps and use our tools and our area provided. You don't have to clean up after yourself, and we provide as many towels as you need and as much soap as you need. So it's a pretty good bang for your buck for using the dog wash, especially if you have a bigger dog and it's not really easy to fit in, let's say, a mud sink or anything like that. Any way you clean your dog, maybe a bathtub. It saves time for your owner, and it's usually a more comfortable place in order to wash your dog other than having to do it in a bathtub or something. But like I was saying before, we have a service that comes in and cleans all of our towels. If we put them in a clear plastic trash bag, then they are able to come and pick up those clear plastic trash bags full of dirty towels, and they bring us back clean towels. I believe it's the same service that does our front mats, like at our entrance. They clean our front mats, and they clean other types of materials around the store in order to keep everything clean. But this service usually comes pretty frequently, and so we are currently waiting at the moment for clean towels. Clean towels are stored in black plastic trash bags, and those towels are available for the customers. But when we have them, usually if we don't have them, then we have to pretty much close the dog wash. As you can see here, I am cleaning the utensils. What I found easiest is just spraying them down with water and then using the vacuum in order to get all the hair out. It makes the hair a lot more soluble, and it's easier to vacuum out when it's wet. It also kind of gets all the dirt and the grease out. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and stick the vacuum into the sink. I'm just doing that to unclog the drain, and then that can drain out like normal. And I can put my vacuum away for this evening. If you guys want to look in the other episodes that I have a lot deeper clean of the dog wash, but this evening we only had 2 dogs come into the dog wash, and so it really wasn't that dirty. Yesterday's video shows the day before this that I cleaned it, and we had 10 dogs at the moment. So if you guys haven't seen that, go watch it. It's a very satisfying clean. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go grab some bleach that I store used earlier, and my manager had informed my coworker that just came back since we just closed our doors to sweep the back room, and so that's what she's doing. I'm now walking over to the bathrooms, and I'm going to go ahead and get everything scrubbed down. She's going to finish sweeping, and then hopefully she's going to come over afterwards, and she insisted on mopping tonight. I don't know why, but she really likes mopping, and so I'm going to go ahead and get everything wiped down first so that everything's ready besides the floor. I was able to replace my spray bottle for my disinfectant spray, and it is spraying a lot better. If you go check out the first episode, it was relatively broken, and so it's now working great, and my toilet bowl cleaner is still lasting, and so I probably won't have to use another one for at least a couple of days, up to probably 2 weeks or so. I'm getting everything scrubbed down. Usually the bathrooms aren't terrible. There's times where there's visible urine on the seats and around the seats and stuff, in around the toilets. But other than that, it usually doesn't get that bad. The trash doesn't usually get full that often, and so I take them out probably every other day. And besides that, there's been times where there has been exceptions, like trash that has been found in the vents above the bathrooms, and people have stuck the trash up there in order to steal stuff. They put away the packaging so that they don't get caught, and they put them in the vents above, which is very clever but not very smart. I don't know. But they do that in order to steal stuff. But other than that, we found actual feces on the ground. Customers have come in and left feces on the ground. But other than that, the bathrooms don't typically get that bad. Usually that's just an exception to how they usually are. As you can see here, she's going to finish up cleaning and mopping the bathrooms. I'm going to go ahead and throw my vest and my earpiece in my locker. And I am going to scrub the sink. I don't normally scrub the sink, but there's sometimes like this where there's a very big buildup of like old food residue and stuff. And so I just put some Dawn dish soap in the sink and I scrub away with the bristle pad of the sponge. This brings back some old memories of working as a dishwasher back in the day. I worked as a dishwasher for about a year, and this is really what I did all day. I did dishes, but I worked my way up, and so now I'm here at Tractor Supply, and I'm much rather enjoying doing that as my day job other than having to do dishes 24/7. All right, and I'm just going to get everything dried out and ready for tomorrow. And with that, we are able to clean and close the break room for this evening. Now, as you can see, she is mopping the entire break room, which typically I feel bad walking over anything that is mopped. Even if I mop it, I just don't want it to dry and leave footprints or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump the mop water and put the mop away, and I'm going to go to the dog wash in order to scrub my hands for this evening, because I don't want to be going in my truck or anything like that and with dirty hands or getting any germs or anything like that anywhere. So usually a trick that I do is I prop the handle of the sprayer nozzle in that little cavity there, and usually it works, but this evening it wasn't working for me a whole bunch. So I just scrubbed myself down with some dog shampoo and got everything clean there, and then I sprayed myself off, and I'll use a towel that we have in order to dry off and make sure everything's clean for the night. And with that, that should be the end of the episode. So if you guys enjoyed, go check out the other episodes that I have of me closing. But till then, this is Samuel. Thank you for watching.